Stop being the believer who fears that the A'jamiyyah controversy threatens the purity of the Quran. That identity keeps you in perpetual anxiety and linguistic confusion. You must understand the classical scholarly debate, not just the headlines. The conflict arises when some mistake linguistic assimilation for theological imperfection. When Imam Shafi'i said the language of the Quran is purely Arabic, he wasn't denying the existence of linguistic borrowing over millennia. He was affirming the divine and rhetorical superiority of the final form. Stop being the superficial reader. Become the seeker who knows that the Quran remains the highest standard of eloquence. Iyaz.
Become the seeker who knows that the Quran remains the highest standard of eloquence. Ijaz. Scholars clarified that even if a word has foreign roots, its integration into Arabic makes it, functionally, Arabic. This new identity grants you immense intellectual peace. You stop chasing peripheral debates and start focusing on the undisputed divinity and clarity of the sacred text. The purity of the revelation is not based on etymology, but on God's choice.
Stop being the person who shuts down when you hear the term A'jamiyyah, non-Arabic words, in relation to the sacred language. That identity keeps your intellectual growth stunted and your faith vulnerable to simplistic attacks. The conflict is internal. You fear complexity. But the great ulama, from Ibn Jarir al-Tabari to al-Suyuti, never shied away from this intense linguistic scrutiny. They debated whether words like sijil or mishkat were originally foreign or purely Arabic. Stop seeking easy answers. Become the student who recognizes that this debate is evidence of the rigor and depth of classical Islamic scholarship. The scholar's clarification wasn't about proving foreignness. It was about defining the scope of the Arabic language itself.
The scholar's clarification wasn't about proving foreignness. It was about defining the scope of the Arabic language itself. This new identity allows you to defend the clarity and precision of the wahyu, revelation, with confidence. You stop fearing linguistic nuance and start appreciating the unparalleled richness that defines the language of the Quran.
Stop being the dogmatic thinker who insists the language of the Quran must be 100% impermeable to any foreign influence. That identity traps you in a linguistic absolutism that even classical scholars moved beyond. The conflict stems from confusing the concept of purity with the concept of isolation. The ulama clarified, the Quran is the definitive standard of eloquent Arabic, regardless of the etymological journey of individual words. Once integrated and used by Arabs, they become Arabic. Stop demanding linguistic isolation. Become the sophisticated believer who understands the distinction between the origin of a word and its function within the divine text. The power of the wahyu lies not in its etymological lineage, but in its miraculous composition and meaning.
The power of the wahyu lies not in its etymological lineage, but in its miraculous composition and meaning. This transformation rewards you with profound clarity. You stop worrying about trivial linguistic origins and start focusing on the undeniable, miraculous eloquence, ijaz, that is the ultimate proof of the Quran's perfection. Embrace the nuance, discard the unnecessary controversy.